Field for a linebacker, 9 folks to jump on his back.
Right.
You know, you just watch on TV like, wow, he dropped the ball, he just got to hold 1,000 pounds on his head. You know, he can't get loose. So I think the experience is like stay in the race, stay in the game, learn because God didn't separate these people. They start merging, and then they watch God to disband that. So that's where my frustration is. Anything. I mean, I go to interviews, and sometimes they hire, sometimes they don't. But I don't stop going.
Right.
And I just keep going because I'm thinking, okay, somebody will say yes, but then the experience of getting no also teaches you something else. Because when they don't do something, it makes you do something, right? And when they do something, it makes you still do something. So in all of that, that's why I think it all works together. We just can't be boycotted, which I don't.
Right. The people who get the best, so what you're saying is if something's going on that you think is not of God.
Not sinning, but just
Yeah. Not that they're doing sinful
Right.
stuff, but that's not the way God wants that to happen. You still need to participate. First of all, you could be wrong. That's what the Bible is telling you. You might be wrong.
Right.
They were wrong with Paul. They thought, well, Paul's making up this whole Christianity thing. That was going to die out.
Right.
Well, the opposite happened.
Right.
So you might be wrong. So you might as well participate and help out. If it's not of God, He'll fix it. And if you just not participating, then you're going to miss whatever lesson God was teaching, and you're still going to have to go through that again later. Like when we talk about the giants, God gave them several opportunities to take care of Goliath. When they first went over the Jordan, and they found giants in the land, right? There are giants down there. We can't go down there. And that was Goliath's relatives.
Right.
They could have taken, God would take care of it right then, but they didn't want to participate. This is not God. Well, they were wrong, it was God. And they should have just gone on ahead and did it. But they had to do it later. You cannot, so, the people who don't participate, God's going to force them to participate later. Does that make sense? So you can stand to the side if you want, but God's going to put you in the game eventually, and you're going to have to, go through it. Yes, sir.
So the fear took a big part in that. They got scared and just didn't want, over the Jordan River.
Yes,
They saw that.
yes, but they also thought it wasn't God, because sometimes the thing that God has us do looks difficult. How are we going to do that? That's too hard to do. How am I going to make that work? And so we don't participate, because it just looks difficult, or we just don't agree with it. But yeah, so there was the fear in their part. But God's going to make you go through stuff. Anyway, you might as well go through it. If it's not God, you were at least being faithful to do what you would do. If it, but it may turn out to be God, and you may be messing up by coming against it. So you may have told them early on, and leave it alone. Don't keep trying so hard to stop it. They're trying to put Paul in jail, trying to kill him,
Right.
and all this stuff. So they finally had learned the lesson, and they said, if an angel has spoken to him, let us not fight against God. We don't want to do that. Now, verse 10.
Now when there arose a great dissension, Commander, hearing lest Paul might be pulled to pieces by them, commanded the soldiers to go down and take him by force from among them, and bring him into the barracks.
So they literally started pulling on Paul. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, he's about to get torn to pieces. Even though God gave him that to say, it didn't. Sometimes what God gives you to say does not calm everything down.
That's
But God still rescued him from it. Because certain sleeping dogs are just going to bite. There's nothing you can do about it. Once you get woken up, it's going to and you can't, So certain people cannot be calm. Doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. So they're about to pull Paul to pieces. And the commander went in and said, we got to rescue this guy because we still don't know what he did that's so wrong. Verse 11.
The following night the Lord stood by him and said, Be of good cheer, Paul, for as you have testified for me in Jerusalem, so you must also do this as well.
Now here's interesting. So Paul thought the end of this thing was in Jerusalem. He'd gotten warnings, right? Don't go to Jerusalem, don't go to Jerusalem, so that's going to happen. But that was just God preparing him. When you get there, it's not going to go smoothly. That's okay. That doesn't mean that you're out of my will.
And also the men tried to stop him and told him don't go. Remember that?
Right.
They
They're
argued
trying to
with
go,
him.
go.
They
But
argued.
they were wrong. They were
Right.
right in what they picked up, but they were wrong in their interpretation of it.
Right.
That happens a lot. We pick things up in our spirit, but we interpret it incorrectly. So these were all godly people. Oh, you shouldn't go. I picked this up in my spirit, so therefore you shouldn't do this.
Right.
And so, but Paul knew what God was saying to him. I know what God has said to me. I'm supposed to do this because he's thinking I'm going to get to Jerusalem and it's all going to turn out okay. So every opportunity Paul had to speak, he would say, stop. I know they're trying to kill me, but let me speak to them. Because he's not. That's the key. This is why God did this. Yes,
It
sir.
reminds me of this kind of saying, like when a snake bit Paul.
Uh-huh.
And he bit him.
Right.
They shut it off.
Right.
Yeah, so he was used to being ridiculed and being bit by snakes.
Right.
I'm not trying to be, I'm saying, and be negative, but he.
No, right. So he
He
knew.
kept the journey, so it's not gonna be snake-less.
Right.
You might get bit, but you're not gonna die.
Right. And so we have to understand that when people come against us sometimes, that doesn't mean everything is wrong.
Right. You're right.
But we want to give up. We want to get but that doesn't mean you're wrong if God has spoken to you. But we do have to learn to read circumstances.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it does mean you're in the wrong place. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, we need to learn, Lord, show me, is this happening because I'm in the wrong place, or is this happening because I'm in the right place?
Discernment,
And we
yeah.
have to have a good relationship with God. So Paul kept thinking, when I get to Jerusalem, the reason God is sending me there is so I can witness to them. This is the third time Paul has stopped to witness to people, and they've gone crazy and tried to kill him. Right? Just in this one day. We've been, for 3 weeks, we've been in this one chapter. This is the third time. Paul says, oh, I got it. If I say this, then they'll all believe. And that's the very thing that set them off. So he set them off again, and they're trying to kill him again. But Paul, and they remove him from the situation. And the Lord says to him, don't worry, you're actually supposed to end up in Rome. That's why you're here in Jerusalem, because you're supposed to end up in Rome. That's not how Paul thought about it. Now, the book of Romans, Paul did not write from Rome. The book of Romans, he wrote before he ever got to Jerusalem. After he had left Ephesus, he wrote to the Romans. He says, I heard a bunch of you got saved. I wish I could get there. I want to get to you. So we think that he wrote the book of Romans while he was in Rome. But here's what he said to the Romans in chapter 1, verse 13.
Now, I do not want you to be unaware, brother, that I often planned to come to you, but was hindered until now, that I might have some food among you also, just as among the others.
So he says, I often planned, something in me said, go to Rome. But I was hindered. Turned out it was God hindering him because there was a time he was supposed to get there. And Paul thought, when I get to Rome, I'm going to witness all those people there, and they got a church thriving. The opposite happened. He was actually ended up witnessing to the guards. And he ended up witnessing to Caesar's guards. And Caesar's guards ended up witnessing to Caesar, and Caesar got saved. And that's how God changed Rome with Paul as a prisoner. But Paul never would have figured that out. He would have thought, well, let me go to Rome and get arrested. And that's how I'll spread the gospel. So he says, I also wanted to come to you, but I was hindered. And he can figure out, why can't I get there? And God is hindering you sometimes. It is not the devil. It's God, because there's a time that it's going to, our feelings are right. That thing that we're thinking is we're supposed to do, or supposed to happen, that business we're supposed to start, or that job we're supposed to get, that is God, a lot of times in us, but there's a timing for it. It's just not time yet. And there's a way that God's going to get you to that situation that has nothing to do with how you think it's going to happen. So we're right, but we're wrong in how we, and so we're trying to run ahead and get it. We often get ahead of God. So sometimes He doesn't tell us everything, because we could just skip a bunch of steps, and then when we got there, we wouldn't be prepared. So there are steps we have to go through. As a child, in second grade, you may say, oh, I want to take calculus. But you got to take all those other classes first, or when you get to calculus, you will not understand it, you will fail. So you have to take all those classes first. But as Christians, we want to jump to calculus. And there's all these steps that we have to get through first. So we think, oh, we should, let's see how that church does that. We should do that. And so we mounted, but that church, there were steps that they went through to get there.
Right.
You were just talking, the pastor was just talking a couple weeks ago about the church where the pastor came in and suspended everything and they shrunk down to 40 members or something. 8 members. But then it slowly grew. And there was stuff that they had to learn along the way, and now they got thousands of members, but they had to slowly go through all these steps. They didn't just go from 200 to 1,000. They went from 8. They went from 200 to 8, actually, and had to learn along the way. So we think, well, let's just do what they're doing. Okay, we'll do what they're doing. I'm just making 8.
Yeah.
That's what you really want? And we're like, what's wrong? Why are we shrinking? Because you wanted to be like them. Yes, surprise, I shrunk them first. So we think we can just skip steps. Well, let's get a band, and we'll get projections, and we'll get I'm just making stuff up. We'll get whatever they got, and we'll be just like them. Nope, we can't skip any steps. Yes, sir.
I remember when I was younger, I had these big dreams. And I was raised in Inglewood, so at that time it was pretty strong in the 60s and 70s. So when I went to get an apartment, not knowing what it cost,
right.
So I started applying for Tar Heel, and the Fox Hill, those came out
Yeah,
in the 70s,
yeah.
close to your mom's house. And I went over there and I started applying. To my surprise, they had 2 things they wanted that I didn't have, was money
See?
and good credit.
Right.
And so I remember, so then they charge you for the application fee.
Right.
So you can go to, I spent the whole day, we just ride around and just put the application
Yeah.
out. And I said, I'm going over here, I got close to Culver City, I was on the way to Beverly Hills, I didn't have no gas, so I had to come back. But I kept applying, and so this day I always think about that.
Right.
That where you want to live, you gotta prepare yourself.
Right, and build up your credit.
To get a yes. And as I built it, as I got older,
Right.
and I repaired those situations, so I had to go back and clean up what I had messed up.
Yeah.
Or clean up, or either get a pay increase to be able to support that.
Exactly.
So I think that's how I always apply that. You can ride around all the neighborhoods you want. But if you're not prepared for that in terms of, what it takes to get in there, then you'll drive that over here and you'll just park and be satisfied.
And God's gonna take you through steps.
Yeah.
And so God took Paul through steps. You're gonna get to Rome, all right, Paul.
Yeah.
It's gonna be this whole other way. Were you gonna, is your hand up?
No, Joe.
Joe.
No, I was gonna say that the church that we went to 8 was like, for example, the seed buying first before that apple or fruit came before us.
Yeah. Yes. So there is a death that has to happen first. We want to go from here to there, but in order from here to there, we got to die. Right? I mean, we just read that. There has to be a death first, and then in that resurrection, God builds the steps, and then we get there. So it's okay. It's like, oh, when the church is shrinking, I think, oh, good. We're finally in part B of God's plan. Yay. He's pruning away so that he can build, right? And so it's always a good thing. So Paul, he says, don't worry, Paul, you're going to be you got to go to Rome. Jerusalem's not your final stop. However, let's read this last verse, Acts chapter 22, verse 12.
And when it was day, some of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under another, saying that they would neither eat nor drink until they had killed Paul.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
That's deep. So, when you get in God's will, the devil's going to whisper in somebody's ear, you got to kill that. Don't let that happen. And just because somebody's plotting your death doesn't mean anything. So that means, yeah. When Jesus said, blessed are those who persecute for righteousness' sake, he meant it. Right. The devil, once he sees you, and this is when Paul was in prison. It's not when Paul had gotten really big. But once the devil sees, he's already moved into phase 2.
Yeah.
I gotta stop that. So they take an oath. We will not I'm not gonna eat or drink or nothing until Paul is dead. We are going to kill Paul. because he had moved, the devil knew he had moved into the next part of God's plan. Even though Paul, look back to Paul, I'm in changing these people. So we're in the next part of God's plan. We're in phase 2, you know, and God is raising us up. But please know the devil's going to come in and try to do what he can. But we just have to keep listening to God, stay in his will, stay focused on him, keep doing what we're doing. Then one by one, God's going to put us where he wants to be. And the devil won't be able to stop. He can't stop God. He can just make us nervous, but he can't stop God's plan.
And also, I believe, I'm learning now that greatness is not numbers.
Exactly.
You know, I used to think that years ago that, oh yeah, big. But now I'm kind of at the place of, okay, it's just wait, you know, because that's what happened to David. When we start counting numbers.
Right, and got in trouble.
And then, they're going to find out God making them count, so you can be strong, you know. What the scripture say that one puts 1,000 to a flight, and 2 puts 10,000 to a flight. So things happen. And the greatness is not always the genius and the glamour and the look.
Right. He purposely wants you to a small number of people sometimes so that he gets all the credit. Because you go, that little tiny church did that, they only got 60 members and they did that. Yeah, so then that God did all, so you know it was God. Because that 5,000 member church doing that, it's like, well, of course they did that. There's 5,000 people on that church. You didn't even think about God. But that 60 member church did that? Then God gets all the glory. So that's why he keeps shrinking things down. Because he wants people to know, I'm the one doing it. You don't need numbers. You just need dedication.
Amen.
Yes, sir. We'll say it.
Now, and also, the early church, so you're probably wondering, why we need the church like Mormons and Christians. And it's so that today, when Christianity grew up, we know that it wasn't because it was really rich or powerful at
Right.
influence. You know, it's still the same concept.
Right.
They had the power. How did they go up so big?
It was God. Exactly.
Like Gideon had a situation where we had 32,000 men.
Right.
And he ended in the end with 3,000, he ended in the end with 300.
300. Right.
He said, Lord, how we going to win except you be? He's a 90 guy.
Right.
You know that it's not impossible. It's impossible for man. He said, all things are possible. Over in Mark 3:23. I remember that when I was in my 20s. I went to a bad divorce. I mean, it was terrible. It was ugly. I mean, ugly to get back together, ugly other people in and out. It was like, as I look at it now, I'm like, what was I doing? But I learned that scripture. We actually work in Western food. The bullets, the Native Middle Place, and all that. So since the Bible study there, we bullets. I was desperate to hear it. I was praying there, and we were talking about that all things are possible. And that believe. Right? I kept thinking, okay. So I got that lesson a long time ago. You know, ultimately is that if you believe that God can do it, there's nothing impossible for him to do.
Right.
The instructor said that if it ain't God's will, it ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to hear that part. I said, no, she's coming back home. I get my Jezebel. I get my feet coming back. It was terrible. And I remember that finally when I look back, 40 years down the road, about 40 years ago, now I'm like, oh, we're friends now. And I'm like, oh, that's what happened.
Right.
You know, when you're in that midst of that battle, that heat of that, sometimes we interpret scripture to make us think that it's going to work.
Right. And the whole point is, what is God's will, not our will?
Right.
We're trying to find the scripture to back up our will.
Yeah.
Well, was it last week we were talking about the lying spirits, the prophet, Sunday school, right? Not Bible study. I think it's Sunday school. Right, okay. So we're Matthew in Bible study with Acts here. But the king wanted desperately to have something happen. And so he knew the answer, but he still wanted his will. So God stepped back and allowed lying spirits to come to him. That backed up what he already wanted. And that will happen. If you got your mind made up, you don't care what God wants you to do. Then God will step back. He's already told you what he wants. You don't want to hear it. So fine. 8 people come up to you and say, yes, that's right. You should do that. None of that's the Lord. They're just simply backing up what you wanted to hear. Because you got an itching ear, so he scratches it. Right? And so we have to be careful that we're not imposing our will on God and say, no, Lord, I really want this. It has to always be not my will, but your will. It has to always be that. Whatever you want. Because he'll bring to pass what he has said to us. But what we want, we don't want that. Because we'll end up with it and be very upset, So next week we will go on with Paul and how he got to Rome and the shipwreck. Because there's 3 types of storms. Paul ends up in a storm.
Yeah.
There are storms where God purposely eliminates your means of transportation, the way you thought you were going to get there. Remember, he just knocked his ship to pieces. He thought he was going to get there by ship.
Yeah.
And God's like, no, I'm going to get you there a whole other way. So God eliminated eliminated transportation. So we're going to follow Paul on his journey to Rome. So let's bow our heads. Father, we thank you.